What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. It's been a busy few days here at the house, but I just realized I haven't got you guys a market watch in a bit, and there's some stuff happening around us. Now, the top sales rates are as they should be, in my opinion. For Noble Knights, we've got the Battles of Legend Ultra Rares with Brothers and Madrot. Next up, you actually have Glory, an amazing rare, and then Isolde. Yeah, this is about right for how the Noble Knights should be selling, because of the huge price point of Isolde stops some people from buying her, along with the potential reprint in those Megatons since we're here in the off season. But one kind of crazy buyout just on the announcement that there might not be just one but two Noble Knight reprint cards. Oh boy, that's gonna fix the archetype, right? Ultimate Rare Arturgis. If it's an Ultimate Rare, it breathes, it's bought out whenever there's any new support. We see it at $15 here, and about $9 over here, new listing before 10, and not many at all on eBay. Now, my personal opinion, I just get the Ultra Rare. I mean, I love Ultimates as much as the next guy, but if we take away Ulti, well, there's Platinum, that's awesome. $2, less than $2, you know, over here for the regular Ultras. Yeah, if I needed a nicer than Platinum version, sure, Ultra Rare. But hey, I actually like Platinum Rare. I'm one of those weirdos. Now, I think we'll see this fall back down over time pretty quickly. I don't know how much this will actually see play in the deck, but to its credit, Noble Knights have always been that deck that's almost there. It was on the cusp, and maybe a couple more cards could finally do it. Maybe. Please, Konami, if they're really good. If they're as good as that Thunder Dragon fusion. Yeah, I could see it. But at the same time, I don't know that two whole cards will fix an archetype, and realistically, you should wait and not gamble your money like this on an Ultimate Rare that could not even see play before, you know, you should definitely just see the effects before you spend your money like this. Gravekeepers are a great example. A lot of people are upset right now, but Spy is still hanging in there. I thought we would see a lot of sellers list their copies. I think I have like 9 of these somewhere in my closet. Man, if only I was really making money off these market watches and listing my cards afterwards. Weird that I'm not. But $78 here, $80 here is where people are trying to hold the line. Like I said, I could see this quickly, you know, resettling down towards 50 after all the dust settles. But we do have more cards for them too, 2 more cards for them. So we'll see where it ends up landing. And yeah, it does look like there's 3 cards, because it seems like the new art that was shown was the fusion. A lot of people corrected me and said, no, they're not getting 3 cards, they're getting 2. That art is for so-and-so. And I was like, we'll see. And lo and behold, he's on the fusion. So the fusion is okay. I don't think it's really groundbreaking or good. I've seen a lot of disappointment, but we'll see how the rest of the cards turn out before we really judge and decide, you know, that advice I just gave you a second ago, how everything's going to turn out. I mean, Recruiter's always been hard to get. This archetype's really loved, and I feel like whenever people come back into the game, one of the first decks they try to pick up is Gravekeepers if they haven't played in forever. A stun deck that still can kind of keep up as you learn, but not really. It's okay. And we'll see what it gets. Thunder Dragon's definitely got like the kind of support that he should have as a stun monster, though. It's really funny in terms of design. Summon Sorceress. A lot of people are freaking out right now because over at the con, over at Anime Expo, they're selling Summon Sorceress along with the Trickstar Ultra and a playmat for you subbing to jump right there in person. And then, of course, you'll get the other cards as you go off. Let me actually add a source here, a media file for you guys of the playmat that you actually get along with it. It might be of relative interest. It's a My Hero Academia playmat. I really don't like how All Might just looks. I don't really like how he looks in this picture, but the rest of the mat looks pretty good. Average-ish playmat, but yeah. So, real picture, people are getting these over at the convention. I don't think the quantity is going to increase enough to really be a huge worry, but if you're at Anime Expo and you want to summon Sorcerers, then you might want to stand in line a little. Go see if they still have them at the Jump booth, and go subscribe to Jump, maybe, and Just get yourself a free little plus there, you know? But I don't think the quantities will be big enough to really disrupt the market from where it's heading as we head towards the 200th and into a season that might actually use and abuse this card. Now again, I feel like Gokis off the bat are the ones who might use this the best, but they could get hit on a ban list after Worlds. We'll have to wait and see. Plenty of things, and that's where actually this conversation is leading. Last year, a lot of things tanked as we waited for the ban list, and deservedly so. Zodiac was getting nailed. Its coffin door was shut. But True Draco actually surprised us and lasted. So you can never really call these. Carl, Engage is actually here at almost $70. Wow, back down again, and actually lowest 70 near mint here, I believe. Let's make sure this is near mint. It doesn't say it in the listing. Oh, it says used. Ooh, that's used. I don't like that. I stay away from anything that says used. It does appear to have that foil rim. Yeah, I would go with anything that says near mint. So we know for sure, you know, around 73, 72. It exists, boys. But it's falling down quickly because we are in the off season, and it's going to continue to do so. We see Widow Anchor dropping like the Anchor it is way past its original price point of 32, all the way back down to 20. I told you guys not to buy at 50. I told you guys to stay away unless you really needed it for a pure Sky Striker deck. And similarly falling is we saw this all the way back up to $25, $26, back down to 20 real fast. Weird. It's almost like it's doing nothing in the meta, and maybe it's terrorizing Duel Links, but it's not really going to do much here. Now, here's a card I underestimated real bad. We look at the first two cards of Battles of Legend. We got Bamboozling, which got a buyout early, slowly dripping back down. Stromberg, very surprisingly down for what it is at around 2.5 per case. Gumblar Dragon, I've got to admit, I highly underestimated you, and you deserve such a higher price point than this for what you are. Man, there are so many decks abusing this, looping hands, and just going nuts and crazy. Yeah, you still got to play through hand traps, but the fact that its access is in the extra deck and not a card you have to hard draw, oh boy did I underestimate this. You're only a couple bucks more than Dreadnought is what you're telling me. Really? I don't think so, and I think we will see this card rise once we leave the off-season, should it not be hit in some way, shape, or form. But it definitely is just a really good card that I highly underestimated, and I would definitely have your copy now. It reminds me kind of a Borreload, right? Where its price was kind of low at first and just over time. Although Battles of Legend definitely does have a different makeup to its set, where you're getting 5 of these out of the case instead of 3 like Borreload, or 6. I forget what the exact ratio for Gumblar was, but definitely a secret I would hold on to and get right now, personally. And speaking of Borreload, I feel like each segment here nicely leaded. It's falling fast, and people keep asking me, what should I do with my Borreload right now? Hello, we're in the off-season and Megatons are coming in. It's guaranteed in the Megatons. I think the Megatons are one of the most open, if not the most open products of every single year. I know a lot of independent vendors and sellers, even Robbie Cole himself shows that he does that with him on that giant truck of Megatons. I feel like this is the most open set of the year, and we'll see a lot of Borreloads, but this will be one of the chase cards for sure. I think the original copy will be 20 to 25, and the new copy will be 15 to 20, depending after about 2 to 3 weeks after release. That's when prices really settle, right? Like 3 weeks after release, we see the real settle in of prices, and then stuff happens. I think that's where this will land. I think it's really good to have multiple cards that can potentially make back your Megaton, though. We've got, what, Firewall, we've got Evenly Matched. The tins are so freaking sweet and sick, and this year compared to last, oh, it was real good. So, again, my advice now, if you're not playing in mini tournaments, adios Borreload. I would sell at this price easily and get yourself back 2 or so when the Megatons drop. And I can be wrong, though. That's speculation. That's what comes with the market. That's what comes with prices. But history repeats itself again and again. Remember, D-Barrier and Cyclone, how on their pre-sales they started out at like 20s, even with those structure decks announced. So people are like, oh, it's a holo, John. You're overreacting. Huh, where'd that turn out? Weird. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's Market Watch. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Again, I know I've been pretty busy and I've been slacking a little this week. We have so much bulk to pick, but we will have the return of tabletop pass format after Billy's done traveling the cons and we pick all this bulk and decide what we really need to spend that money on from the streams for decks for tabletop. We're doing pass format. If you all aren't aware, we're going to have Troop Dupe. So far, these are the voted decks. Troop Dupe, Dad Return, E-Dragon with babies, E-Dragon, what's it called? It's the Dragon Rulers where you use the field spell, and I'm just blanking completely. Dragon Rulers is one of the only formats that I skipped on, but of course Billy's a master of like everything. And then we also have Ravine Rulers, Ravine, and so we have Ravine Rulers, and I believe there's one more confirmed. I'll check with my Discord, but we're gonna have awesome pass format tabletop duels, return of table talk, and that's what we're gonna keep, you know, going for with this channel. The return kind of to where it all started, but with past formats for you guys to explore with some of the best duelists out there. And then we're gonna have the rival deck for the past deck too, so not only the mirror matches, but then we're gonna have like the rival deck come in, and that's gonna be really fun. Duelists like Billy having access to that, I think it's gonna be really good content for you guys.